I was the one who found the body of the victim, Mr. Damascus II. Besides him was the samurai sword, glittering red, offering up the scent of blood. It was supposed to be the steel samurai's dressing room, but I found it here instead. Plus, I found a murder weapon owner, the suspect, Larry Butson, here too. Isn't it a bit of far-fetched to accuse someone simply on the basis of ownership? But this owner wanted to sneak into the crime scene. I think that's plenty to go on, don't you?
Hold it!
No. If you're alluding to his reason for being by the chimney, we've already established that.
Not so fast!
Hold it right there, Mr. Prosecutor. You two are longtime friends, right? Who's to say you didn't fabricate the evidence to give him an alibi? Really? You're accusing me of fabricating evidence? You think I can believe anything you produce? Forging evidence is all you prosecutors do. That man has some serious issues with prosecutors. Come on, I can't think of something as complicated as that, right, Edgy? Larry, I can agree because I know you and your personality well. However, Agent Lang knows nothing about you, or from me, that matter. I sense his hatred for my entire profession emanating from his entire being. I mean, that's the only way I can prove Larry's innocence is to present irrefutable evidence. Do we have anything about causing deaths for this guy? Doesn't look like it.
Hold it!
Just because he is the owner of the weapon, therefore he must be the killer, is it? No. Climbing all the way up to the chimney is plenty suspicious. This is my
Objection!
Regarding that, I've already drawn the truth out. Regarding that, I've already drawn the truth out. And the truth is one thing I don't bend.
Not so fast!
Doesn't matter if it's you or whoever, you prosecutors are all the same. And as for me, prosecutors is the one thing I don't trust in.
Objection!
An agent who doesn't trust prosecutors? What are you playing? Sorry, sis. But there are only two things I trust. My subordinates and evidence at the crime scene. Agent Lang hates prosecutors, but as long as he trusts evidence that has been left at the crime scene, then there is something I can show him that he can believe. It's simply not possible that the samurai sword is a real weapon. Focus on proving that point to Agent Lang first. Probably just present the sword. Because like it, I believe they said it like it was he was hit in the head. Like the sword wouldn't be like this.
Objection!
No?
Not so fast! Objection! Hold it!
Excuse me, but glittering red and offering up the scent of blood. Do I have to spell it out for you? I mean the sight and smell of blood, of course. And according to the test on the sword, it belongs to the victim. Sword was made to be used on stage, so it's not sharp. But it's pretty wicked, so it has enough heavy to beat someone with it to death with it. Which leads me to suspect that the victim was beaten to death with his sword. Beaten to death, huh? This last statement is too important to just let it slip by. That just doesn't seem right.
Hold it!
Press it first. About the samurai sword. Have you received a report from the forensics yet? I confirm that the blood on the sword belongs to the victim. Alright, but have they confirmed that the outline of his wound is consistent with the weapon? Tell me something. Do you see the dead body right there in front of you? So if they were conducting an autopsy right now, shouldn't that body not be there? I suppose so. Guess they must still be investigating this wound. It is possible he doesn't know about that piece of evidence's true nature.
Objection!
Okay, I was thinking it was like maybe, cause like it's weighty. It's similar to sort of, but like I feel it. This feels weird. Let's see what Edward says. I just presented it as like it's the only other thing like kind of related. Do you know what this is, Ancient Lang? It's a long spear, right? We used those a lot in my country a long time ago. Piercing, mowing people down, spears are the weapons of heroes throughout history. It's the next most effective weapon after the whip. I think the whip is a slightly different category. So what's your point? You're gonna tell me that spear is a real weapon? No, I simply want you to take a look at this section here. The way it's bent? Precisely. Apparently, a certain troublemaker hit it against the wall in the embassy earlier. Probably what Edwards is implying is that the sword is going to be hollow as well, and if you were whack it against anything, it would bend like this as well. That's probably what Edwards is implying. And you can clearly see the inside of the Steel Samurai's weapons are hollow. In other words, they're replicas that aren't strong enough to deliver a damaging blow, let alone multiple strikes necessary to bludgeon someone to death. And there's not even a dent in the samurai sword. How do you explain that? Oh yeah, the sword and spear are made of the same stuff, so they'd bend easily. What should make them out of better stuff? The spear got bent. I was able to do my early summer rain jab move. Man, I got such an earful from the directors of play for not doing it in the show. Steel Samurai's special move was changed tonight because of him. Ouch! That's more than enough of you, whiny whipper. Now, back to the topic of the spear. Yes, let's return to the real topic of discussion. This is where the real gamble begins. I don't have a real strategy per se. All I can do for now is let the chips fall where they may. Using guesswork and taking risks in place of real logic is hardly a Von Karma way. Neither smart nor very clever. Miss Von Karma, as you know, unlike your father, I am not a genius prosecutor. Plus, I doubt his record of a 40-year win streak will ever be broken. Especially not by you, Francisca. You've already lost the right many times. But perhaps it is best it is for the best it remains unbroken. For no one should be convinced of the notion to convict all defendants in the first place.
Objection!
What a foolishly foolish statement from a foolishly foolish fool who hates to lose. It is the job of a prosecutor to make sure that all defendants are found guilty in the court. No, it's not. There is nothing more important in this world than a perfect victory.
Hold it!
That may be your opinion. However, I don't believe that's at all we were. As a prosecutor, what I pursue is not the perfect victory, but the perfect truth. And if that means that a bridge I must cross will crumble beneath my feet, then let it crumble as I walk on toward the truth.
Not so fast!
You're good at keeping me entertained, Mr. Prosecutor. But you know, humans are delicate creatures. The slightest bump and we expire. I'd like you to consider it if a possibility that the sword was used in such a way that the attack killed Mr. Damask was outbidden. So what do you think of my hypothetical scenario? I think you know what to do here, right? And what you need. Of course. What I need is evidence he can't refute. This is it. Time to bring this to a close. It's possible to use a samurai sword to kill someone. And under these circumstances, it's the only logical conclusion. We search the embassy top to bottom. The victim's blood is only on that weapon. So is it only natural for the suspicion to fall on the owner of said weapon? How long do you intend to cling on to that preposterous theory? As long as I want, because we examine every corner within the walls of this embassy. There's no stone left unturned. We have managed to come up with only one logical conclusion. The only place inside this embassy with the victim's blood on it is this sword.
Hold it!
I disagree. You left no stone unturned. Is that a fact?
Not so fast!
If you got something to say, then say it in the only way I respect, Mr. Prosecutor. Yes, of course. In that case, allow me to make it crystal clear for you. I think, yeah, it's Empress is definitely implying the statue.
Hold it!
The only place where you could find blood was this on the samurai sword. That's right, even with Lumina. Which means there are no other possibilities outside of what I've already outlined. Do I have a problem with Agent Link's assertion? See, this is annoying. Like, if anything about this game is going to annoy me, it's moments like this where, like, you have to raise an objection when you press, rather than just presenting the evidence I'm about to present when I raise an objection here. Like, it's the same thing. Come on, game. I believe, if you believe that there is no other door of a possibility left to open, then allow me to force one open for you.
Not so fast!
What up, Halo? And how do you plan to do that? By showing you what may possibly be the real murder weapon.
Not so fast!
Ha! The real murder weapon? I hate to repeat myself, but my men have already searched every last inch of this embassy. They've concluded nothing else could have been used as a weapon. Knowing these facts, do you still want to press forward with your little hypothesis? Of course. Because it's not possible that your men inspected everything in their investigation.
Not so fast!
What are you talking about? I don't appreciate mind games, and I don't appreciate when people like you slander my men.
Hold it!
I'm not slandering them, I assure you. I'm merely pointing out their investigation Dragnet had a few holes in it. Namely, that there is something your men couldn't even lay a finger on. And that item is a real murder weapon. Alright, I'll play along for now. This real weapon that killed the Master Sith. What exactly is it? The real murder weapon, which not a single person has yet to touch, is this. See, I contradicted his statement with this, but the game's like, no. We want you to press it and go through this whole argument between the two that could just be completely skipped by just presenting this right away. So annoying. Very annoyed.
Take that!
The national treasure of all best. You mean a primitive statue? Yes, and as you know, only the ambassador and his secretariat may touch it. Which I believe means that neither of you nor your men were able to examine it, correct?
Not so fast!
Ha! You know very well that if we did that, there'd be an international incident between the Kingdom of Albes and the Republic of Babal. Two countries' precious relation teeters in the balance. Over stupid site related to the sovereign statue. But I'll be damned if I let something go unexamined.
Hold it!
Agent Lang, if you could take a look at this. The direction of the statue was facing just before and after the incident. The crime was different. And there is only one conclusion I can draw from that. Go look for Ambassador Albine. Get him to give us an okay to examine the statue. Shifu, you can't listen to the infidel's words. So he's definitely trying to trick you. Shifu, please, be rational about this. Langzi says, just go already. Yes, sir. Shifu. Yeah? I'm really sorry, sir, but I was unable to convince the ambassador. I was unable to obtain permission for us to examine the primitive statue. I see. Wait, what's in the investigation? Is that a standstill? Agent Lake, I will go and speak with the ambassador personally. Save your breath. You may act all weak and frail. That old man's one tough cookie. But I guess you gotta be tough when you're representing a whole country, you know? Agent Lake. What do you want? Let's hurry up and examine the statue already. But, Shifu, what about causing an international incident? Quiet! We're gonna do it if all. I'm gonna do this whatever. I love how Lang's something else here. He's just like, hey, go get permission. Permission denied? Heck, we're doing it anyway. Good grief, this guy. This guy's something else. I'll take the fall if I have to later.
Hold it!
Agent Lang, the hypothesis is mine. So if someone is to take responsibility, let it be me. Responsibility? We're gonna talk in such heavy terms. Maybe I should let you. It'd be a real problem for my men if something were to happen to me. Alright then. Let's talk more investigating. If we want to know the truth, we can't stop here. Actions must be taken. Agent Lang, I'd like to run a luminol chemiluminescence test on the statue. I've not seen. They have not used. Why did they add the chemiluminescence saying there? They've not done that before. Luminol test. Good thinking. The statue is a murder weapon, and some of the victim's blood should be on it. Okay. Let the forensics team in here. It's on the head of the statue. I figured it would have been on the bottom or something. Heh. Looks like it's a jackpot, Mr. Prosecutor. Guess it means this is a real murder weapon killed the Master 2nd. Indeed. But I wouldn't celebrate yet if I were you. This doesn't let your friend off the hook. It doesn't prove that he didn't kill the Master 2nd, so the charge remains. We are hardly done examining this statue, Agent Lang. Knowing that it is the real weapon, I believe further examination is required. Ha! You think so? Okay then, knock yourself out. Ba-da-bam, bam, bam. And what do we have here? Dirty smudge. It looks like a hammer. Where are definitive pieces of evidence like you're doing under here? Looks like we got some fingerprint analysis. Worst case scenario, those prints belong to Larry. But it looks like it's too late for me to do anything about it now. No, if the fingerprints belong to Larry, that's highly suspect because he's wearing gloves. Forensics guy, I want the results on these fingerprints ASAP, you hear me? Hey, Link, I have the analysis results, sir. Good, and? Sir, about the prints we lifted from the bottom of the statue. Well, you know the victim of the murder in the Polynesian embassy? They're Manny's? They're Manny's prints? Prints belong to him, Mr. Manny Cochin, sir. But that's... What's going on around here? No, that's impossible. Each primitive statue can only be handled by someone of that country. But by the very fact that Mr. Cochin's fingerprints are on this one, it leads me to only one conclusion. This statue is actually a Ball's primitive statue. Impossible! It can't be! Got it! Larry never once set foot on Balbany's soil, so he was free to go. However, this new piece of information only served to confuse us even further. The ringleader of a smuggling operation was killed with an arbitrary knife in Babal. And the Master 2nd was killed on Afghanistan soil with a Balbany's national treasure. And the mystery of the great thief Yatagarasu, who visited both countries. The pieces were there, but I get to see the big picture as they were to form. I left the Masked 2nd investigation to Francisca and returned to Babal. I suppose my first order of business should be to look into Babal's statue. Mr. Edgeworth. So, Kay, what's the situation? Oh, it's great. Investigating is so much fun. In other words, they've made absolutely no progress. We were goofing off. Honest, sir. We've been investigating our hearts out. Very well then. Would you care to give me an update on your investigation? Oh, we've had a really fun time, sir. I knew it. Zero progress. In any case, Detective Gumshoe. Yes, sir. You have permission to enter the Alabastian embassy. Is that correct? Yep. As a local detective, I'm helping out with investigations on both sides, sir. Good. In that case, I can leave these pieces of evidence with you. They belong to the lady under the Pink Princess's mask. Pink Princess? What kind of lady was playing her, sir? You don't want to know. The kind that was also playing the role of Pink Badger yesterday. Understood, sir. If I happen to run into her, I'll give them back to her. And if I don't, then I guess I'll unload them somewhere. It doesn't seem all that ensues to go find her, but I can't blame him. Evidence that has lost their value was given to Detective Gumshoe. Now then, I don't believe I'll be needing this anymore either.
What? You really gonna throw that autograph away?
Yes, because that steel samurai was a fake. Steel samurais are scrunched up into a ball and disposed of. Rest in peace, Larry.
Wait, what? What do you mean by fake?
Now then, I believe it's time for a little housekeeping. Necessary evidence has been removed. Remaining evidence has been rearranged. Alright, what do we still have? Okay, so we still got the embassy guide, of course. We got the butterfly and flower on their things. Body of the first victim. Get the Garza key. Knife. A ball statue. Paper document that we now have all 3 of. Knife's handle. Counterfeit bills. Ink. Broken sphere. Alaba statue. Damascus note. 5th floor ambassador's office. 2 flowers. I don't think we figured out what these are relevant to yet. And the samurai dogs are still relevant. Interesting. That's not what I was trying to do. Look, a ladder. A ladder. Actually, that's a step ladder. Here we go again. I probably missed some ladders at some point that we could have done this to, but... They're exactly the same thing.
No way. From their structure up, they're totally different. But of course, from a thief's perspective, the best kind of ladder is the rope ladder. Step ladder is much too heavy to carry around after all.
And from a prosecutor's perspective, any type of ladder is guilty of being dangerous during an earthquake.
Hey, do you take the scent of treasure coming from this bush?
The scent of treasure? Not at all.
Ah, Mr. Edwards, you're totally not with it.
I'm not with it.
No, and it's important that both thieves and prosecutors to be energetic.
Yeah, the animations are pretty good.
Perhaps for a thief like you,
With that level of energy is unbecoming of a prosecutor.
You really think so? That prosecutor you met at Gaywater Land seemed to be pretty active.
Yes, but he's arrested for murder now, so... Well, he's not a prosecutor anymore. See how everything just naturally balances out. Bag full of cement powder are stacked up here. I suppose they're for renovation.
Yeah, because I don't smell a drop of gold here, or any other treasure for that matter.
Okay, the only scent you should detect in a place like this is a smell of sweat.
Hey, Mr. Edwards, that's a pretty good play on words there. Gummy, don't randomly jump into one of our dialogues like that.
Hey, fourth wall, get shattered. Were you eavesdropping on us, Detective Gumshoe?
No, it's not like that, sir.
It would appear that the stage is also scheduled to be renovated.
You know, I would love to perform on a stage like this. Something like the greatest great thief show.
I should think it would be a bad idea for a thief to show the face to the world.
How come there are so many traffic cones are red and white?
That's because they're highly visible from a great distance.
Oh, is that why? So what reason do you wear a wine red suit? Is it for visibility's sake?
Please don't compare me to a ragged plastic traffic cone.
Ah, so you're back now, are you Mr. Redworth? You must be tired. Here, with these, you can eat whatever you'd like.
And these are more coupons that are only good in your country, which are not helpful to me right now.
Discount tickets for our cafeteria. They're open tomorrow at 10 in the morning.
It doesn't help us right now. It's night time. I appreciate the concern. However, these coupons do nothing for me right now. This open air stage, what function does it serve exactly?
Well, normally, we use it for a variety of events.
It's all to attract a bit of attention to a ball.
I heard that tonight over in Alabaster Rose Garden. Ambassador Alba was to give a speech. And you know what? Manny told me that I really should give a speech too.
Mr. Cochin told you that?
Yes, he did. Which is why I thought I should give a speech of my own. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to.
Because of the fire the Yatagarasu started.
Exactly.
Ambassador Polino, I'd like to ask you for a little more about the primitive statue.
Oh, I see. Well, let me ask you this. Did you know that Alabas and Papal used to be one country called Cordovia?
Yes, I know that much about your history.
Well, the primitive statue belonged to the founders of Cordovia. At least that's how the story goes. It was bequeathed unto the king of Cordovia as a symbol of the country's wealth.
So it was meant to be a symbol of sovereignty and the right to rule, I take it.
Yes, that's right, which is why both countries are so adamant about their claim. We hold the real statues, therefore we hold the right to rule, is the reasoning. It's pretty petty when you think about it, though, I suppose.
But if Alabast and Babal were to re-establish relations, shouldn't that put an end to the squabbling over the statue?
I have no reason to believe so. The primitive statue is even more important now as a key to diplomacy.
I wonder if Ambassador Polino knows about what has happened to the very important key to diplomacy. Perhaps we should show him this key and what he has to say about it. Ambassador Polino, there's just one thing I'd like to ask you about.
Oh, yeah. Yes, oh, don't worry. You can ask me more than just one thing. How about 2 or 3? In exchange, I'll expect you to be coming to Babal, yes?
Thank you. But just the one thing is all I require. Manny Cochin, I'd like to ask you about this man who was your secretary.
Oh. Sure. I'll tell you what I know.
Thank you for your cooperation, Ambassador.
He was, well, if I had to put it in one word, he was an able man. That's 5 words. He was an able man. If there was ever anything I needed as an ambassador, he was able to get it for me. To think that a man like that had a hand in smuggling ring right under my nose, going completely unnoticed. Actually, I suppose because he was an able man, I was unable to detect his dirty dealings. I wonder if Manny is being set up to a degree. Like he was being set up that way, but he figured it out and was trying to blab, maybe? It sounds like Mr. Coachman had a very sharp mind. Recently, Manny had been really busy. Since I became the Balbanese representative at the Country Unification Council. He has been working tirelessly to cover my work for me. I'm sorry, but what is this Country Unification Council? Oh, well, you see, had tonight's events proceeded without a hitch, our two countries were to reunify and become one again. Really? What I guess was how things turned out. That dream won't be realized anytime soon. I suppose not. Ambassador Plato, if you could please take a look at this for me. The Prima Duck statue sitting in all of us right now actually belongs to Babal. So it would appear. I received a call from Miss Von Kammer about this earlier. Then you understand why I wish to inspect Babal's Prima Duck statue immediately. Because the statue currently is in your country's possession. Yes, well, I've already inspected it myself. Nope, don't care. We want to inspect it ourselves. And it's definitely Alabus statue. I know because it's the real statue. Say what now? Then you're saying Babal was the replica. I'm embarrassed to say it's true, even though I knew that someday it would be exposed. I received my orders from the leaders of Babal, and I was to negotiate with Ambassador Alba at this event. I was to negotiate with him and fix the results of the evaluation tonight. To say that we could not determine which statue was the real one.
Hold it!
Why are you telling me this? Well, because you already figured it out. Our statue is just a hollow shell. Even if Babal were to lose face in the reunification of the country is what's important. I'm right in thinking that, aren't I? I'm not making a mistake, right? If you don't know yourself, then I won't pretend to know either. I never thought that by being betrayed by my own secretary, the real symbol of wealth would be given to me. Isn't that simply ironic? The statue resembles a hero that's still samurai, don't you think? I was thinking, what would you say to changing its name to the Steel Samurai statue? This might attract a few more tourists to our country if I did, right? I'm not sure what to think. I thought that thing was a national treasure. We're having a real time cleaning it up after the fire. Supposed to stay out here and investigate the stage for some more. Just look at these scaffolds make you want to climb them. I recommend that you do not try. There was a fire burning here until not long ago. Yeah, but I think enough time has passed, so it should be alright. Thief Child says, if there's a height to be scaled, then scale it you must. Starting from Thief Child, would you care to explain what you just said? This bush looks like a perfect place to hide some treasure, you know. Aw, but there was no treasure inside those things. Oh, too bad. But we do have a lot of treasure back in Babal. Sounds great. I'll be sure to pay you guys a visit sometimes for a 5-finger discount. Girl, chill out. Sure. We welcome you anytime. Are you sure you really want to invite a thief into your country with open arms? Yes, Edgeworth. You look like you're enjoying yourself, detective.
I guess I don't have much else to enjoy, but as much as a good investigation, sir.
So what did you find out? Well. I take it he has found nothing of any particular use, as usual.
Hey, Mr. Edwards, got something really interesting from Ambassador Polena.
Oh, what is this something interesting?
This, sir.
It's a lamp. Butterfly. Wow, that's so pretty. I'm so jealous. That's a real treasure there. Why does the Flamebird Green Detective...
So apparently, if you burn the special white crystal oil that they only make in Babao, burns a green color, sir.
Interesting. So it's a special property of the oil. I suppose this ploy is to force people to visit Babal should the oil run out. Hey Gummy, what are these? What about these silhouettes?
They stuck some cutouts on the outside of the lantern so it'd project the image.
Oh, silhouettes, huh? They are rather pretty, aren't they? Wait, what am I doing? I was supposed to be asking him for an update on the investigation.
Hey, what's wrong, sir?
There's something I want to investigate for me. Do you think you can do that much?
Uh-huh. You got it, sir.
Hey, that's not fair. Why is Gummy getting to do all the fun stuff?
Well, that's because I'm Mr. Edwards' partner.
I can't believe you took advantage of the confusion and stole my role as assistant. I expect the two of you to get along and work together like professionals on this. Hey, where are you going? Are you heading back to Alabast? Yes, but before I do, I suppose I should give you a summary of what's happened. Oh, I see. There's been a murder in both countries using an object from the other country. That's the gist of it. Babal is just as strict as Alabast. They're inspection of the people and things that enter their country. There's got to be a way to get through. There's probably like a secret tunnel or something that you can get through without rousing suspicion. In their inspection of the people and things that enter their country. Meaning that somehow both murder weapons were smuggled into the two countries. That's the only logical conclusion that can be drawn. Perhaps the key to the weapon smuggling is the person who traversed both countries. You mean a fake Yatagarasu? In one way or another, the Yatagarasu is connected, of course. Of this I am sure. Now then, where was the Yatagarasu first spotted? I believe it was in a rose garden on the Alabast side of the embassy. The garden is just on the other side of this boundary. It's where Alabaster offered what was to give a speech tonight. At least that's what I heard of the Yatagarasu had appeared. In that case, I believe it's vital that I investigate the rose garden post-haste. Wait, before you go, take a look at this, Mr. Edwards. The heck is that? What is it? My guess is that it's a guitar pick. Picked it up just now over there. Do you think it'll be of any use? There's a little water on it. But how did water get on it? Doesn't look like there's anything it could get wet from around here. I was thinking they have concerts here at the open air stage from time to time, right? Alright, I'll find it sooner or later. Oh yeah, there is one thing. One more thing. Mr. Edwards, will you be willing to hold on to this? It's that perfume again.
Heckin' perfume.
What is this? It's misused perfume. Is It's a bottle that woman left behind and that I found 7 years ago. Thought that one day it would become of use in tracking her down. Can we get a police dog and sniff her out? Is she here? So I kept it safe all this time. Thank you. The owner hold on to it for you. Oh, no, I'm supposed to go down.